The fallen giants are back on their feet.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the 1 to 11 Kits and the AFC Kit Geek.
Yep.
As we look through the history of Aston Villa kits, it's always special to have you on, John. I can't wait to talk about the Under Armour kits.
I know when we thought about the Under Armour, you forget actually how many different versions exist. We only obviously wore 2 seasons worth, but you forget actually as a collector how many different versions exist, and actually how nice they are when you've got them all out. And I got them all out for the recording. Actually, how nice the shirts are. I mean, definitely against how nice the football was, but the shirts are quite nice.
Yeah, it was the first season, wasn't it, that we were obviously in the Championship. These shirts will be synonymous with 2 seasons of Championship football, and being sandwiched between Macron and Luke Roper. I think on the scale, I think you'd agree with me that it goes slightly better. Macron, Under Armour slightly better, and then obviously Luke Roper is the pinnacle of modern day Aston Villa shirts. But these are some pretty good kits, and we'll be able to delve deep into some of the weird and wonderful that we've got in our collections. Should we start off with the home shirt?
Yeah, let's get the home one. So you're wearing it, and okay, nice and start. I'm guessing you're a fan of this with a collar, as we're starting to learn that collars are definitely a running thing. But it's a nice shirt. It's obviously for me again, it's the Blues game, the Gabby scoring. They're coming on. It's sort of like an absolute raging bull. He came on absolutely flying from memory. It was a sort of a really horrible game, and then he came on maybe 25 minutes to go and got a booking, didn't he, within the first 2 minutes of him being on, because he took someone out. And then he obviously went and scored and won 1-0. So I think that's one of the biggest memory I have from that home shirt. But it's a nice shirt, isn't it? It's pretty standard.
Pretty sure it was only one of 2 or 3 that he actually scored that season. He didn't score many. It wasn't his most prolific time at Aston Villa. But yeah, that one really does stand out. Jack Grealish had a mixed time that season. It was sort of the start of the season after where he sort of got back into the side. But yeah, it was just a big season of change, wasn't it? And nowhere does it start more than with the actual badge, which changes. It's the first time that we see the prepared disappear. We've got these bigger claws on the actual lion. Yeah, you'll be able to show us there, bigger lion. So it's the first season of that as well. First season of Under Armour, second or third season of QuickBooks. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan of this shirt. It's not the best one we've ever had, but I really like the lightweight material. I remember when they put this shirt out, they were saying it only weighs about 107 grams, and that's one of the selling effects. This Under Armour heat gear material, which is quick drying, and yeah, something that we didn't know till probably quite far into our collecting. The main differences between this shirt and that the players wore, and the shirt that you guys we bought in the stores.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of difference. I only didn't. In fact, I very recently realised the huge differences between the shop bought ones and actually the player ones. And I've got a player one of the away just to show. I haven't got the player one of the home. You've got.
I'm wearing player of the home. But
there's big differences, such as there's like under sleeve vents. I'm not sure how well this will come across on camera, but there's under sleeve vents that come across. And if you are looking to get one, the one thing I spotted was there's no silver badge at the bottom. So on the shirt itself, on this one that I've got, there's obviously the silver badge. So again, if you're looking as a kit nerd, this silver badge that's on the bottom corner of the retail ones doesn't actually sit there on the player one. So if you're trying to spot, if you're in the market and you're trying to think, what could I get a player one? Those are the 2 things to check for. Does it have the undersleeve vents, which this one doesn't? And does it have is it missing that silver badge at the front? And they're your 2 sort of key giveaways. Again, it's stuff that sad people like me and you really revel about and think, actually, wow, that's different. And actually, it's a completely different material. There's not much give on this one, whereas on that one, there's quite a lot of stretch to it. It's not as tight as the Kappa Pros or Elites, for sure, but it's definitely a stretchy. Well, it's like their Under Armour stuff, isn't it? It's exactly like it fits like their undersleeve stuff would wear, and it's a nice shirt. It's that pretty standard main claret body, blue sleeves. I just remember that first game against Sheffield Wednesday. I remember sort of going, right, this is our season. We're going to obviously come back up because we're Villa. and then we lose in like the 83rd, 4th minute or something like that, and just thinking, wow, it's not going to go like I thought.
Oh yeah, other than I didn't think the start was too bad. There was just a lot of draws, wasn't there? There was just a lot of draws and players that we had to ship out and get in, and we've heard stories on the Athletic and different players that have come out since, and just the change that had to happen, and it wasn't, when we went down, we thought there's going to be a breeze. We'll obviously come back up. These, the players that we're signing, the money that we're spending, because we spent a lot of money.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Who else went down with us? Newcastle and I can't remember who else.
Was it Norwich?
I think it was Norwich. But Newcastle was the only one that did well out of the promoted sides, wasn't it? And us and Norwich didn't do well. But yeah, it was a tough season and a real season of change, wasn't it?
Di Matteo obviously started us off, didn't he, as manager? Yeah. Big things hoped for him, and not a lot came from it. Quite a short tenure. Just didn't sort of do what he was expected, and we sort of didn't start off very well. Lots of draws initially, and sort of not a lot to happen really. But decent shirts.
When Bruce came in, I remember it being a lot better, wasn't it? And then we had a poor run in, I think it was like January or something, that we were losing quite a few. And then after that, we went on sort of an 8-game unbeaten run. And there was signs that he was getting a lot better. Concha obviously had a good season, top goal scorer, 19 goals. But yeah, there was just a lot of change, wasn't there? And it obviously gets better the season after. But you were saying that this away shirt, you were saying off camera that this away shirt was one of your favourites.
And this actual shirt. So this shirt was a really favourite of mine anyway, because it was a replica of one of my all-time favourite Villa shirts from 97, 98. Because this is literally an exact copy. The colours are slightly different, but it's an exact copy of it. But this was really special for me because I played and scored at Villa Park in it as part of the Villa View. So this shirt, I then decided I've got my name. So I've got Insley and number 5. So I played centre back on the back of this one, and I put the patches on it. So this is my match worn shirt from Villa Park. So it's not as good as a player match worn, but I was a player for that day.
It is still a match worn.
It is still an actual match worn from Villa Park. I will put a clip over my penalty. I look definitely different from those days.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of weight, mate. You have lost a lot of weight.
I do look different. I'll point out Dan Bardell missed the penalty. I did give away a penalty late on in front of the Holt end, and Dan missed it. Well, had it saved, to be fair. Had it saved, very well saved, to be fair. And then we had a penalty shootout, which we lost in, but still one of the best things ever was in full Villa kit, scoring a penalty at Villa Park. So this is my match-worn shirt. And
you scored.
And I scored. So for me, this actual shirt itself won't mean huge amounts to everybody. It was quite a very nothing season for Villa. I like the design a lot because it's, like I said, based on one of my favourite Villa shirts that we've had. And I played at Villa Park and scored. There's not really a lot else I can say about why it's so special.
Well, I think that's really interesting as well, isn't it? The fact that different shirts can have different favoritisms for different people for very small specific reasons, like either the first game you ever went to or, the shirt that I wore when I got to walk on Villa Park at half time and stuff like that. And those memories, whether it's a certain player or a certain experience, can really affect how you see a certain shirt. Imagine if you'd worn the home shirt instead, you probably love this shirt a lot more than the one that you're wearing now, but you got to wear that one. And did you get to play with any players, or was anyone in the do a team talk or anything like that?
Yeah, so we didn't play with any players. It was all fans. So we literally played home kit versus away kit. So Dan's team had her home kit, and I was with Matt Lynch, and we had the away kit. So a small-known person called Gordon Cowans was our manager. So he was our manager, and again, there is I've got it. I probably could dig it out for the edit of him reading the team talk out. So him reading your name out as on his lineup was something special. And again, the home team was managed by, you might have heard of him, Brian Little. So he was the home team manager. So it was madness. We were meet at the players' entrance. And we're welcomed in as if we were players. We walked into the dressing room. Our kits were laid out as if it was a player with your name. I mean, it was only on a post-it, but still. Your kit was hung up for you with your shorts and socks laid out for you at each of the pegs. And it was, honestly, I can't describe it. And we walked out through the tunnel. They played the walkout music. We had a warm-up on the pitch. The only negative I can ever talk about was the fact that we were not allowed to wear Astro studs or normal studs. We had to play with indoor shoes. So you had to play with, and it was hard because it was like sliding back. But so the full match was comical because there's lots of sort of looks like Bambi on ice. But it was honestly insane. And the game was 0-0. It was quite a bore fest actually. The game was 0-0. But then the penalty shootout, and I just remember thinking, this is your only chance. This is it. This is your only chance. Just roll it in. So it wasn't sort of a screaming penalty, but I just rolled it into the corner, and that was it. It was just amazing to see that net ball as you put it in at Villa Park. It was just the best day. And then you went and did like a press thing in the press area, and sort of Mollinson and was sort of interviewing you inside the booth or where you would be, and to do post match sort of interviews, and the whole day was surreal, like absolutely surreal.
Just incredible.
Something I'll never forget, and it's on video, so I've got the footage of it, and just what a day.
And you play it every day, every night, every.
I do look back at it often. My penalty, I've clipped it up, so it's just a penalty. It's something that I definitely look back with huge fondness.
I would do the exact same. I think all of us would do the exact same, wouldn't it? You know, it doesn't matter what club you support or whatever. Man United fans, if they got to play at Old Trafford, they'd be doing the same. Liverpool fans at Anfield would be doing the exact same. I don't blame you for 1 minute.
And it was in between games, so the pitch was actually like match ready. Because some of the charity events, it's sort of like when the pitch is a bit sort of worn down, and it's not that. But it was actually in between matches. So the groundsman gave us quite a big speech beforehand to say, look, that this is not sort of a pitch that can be torn up. This is a pitch that is next week. I think it was Wolves. I think we're playing Wolves at home the next game. So he was like, "This we need to make sure this is okay." Which is why there are no studs. But it was just something I'll never ever forget. One of the best days as a fan ever.
I don't know how we move on from there.
I struggle with my memories just to move on.
Proper massive memory, and what an experience! I'm sure we'll be filled with comments of hate-filled jealousy of people. If you were at the game. If you played in the game, comment below with how John did with a score out of 10.
Badly, absolutely terribly. I played awfully. I was awful. I blame it on the boots and my excess weight at that time. But
what position did you play in?
I was centre back. So there's lots of players, and I knew they were trying to sort of roll in subs. And every time I could see the subs sort of slowly start to come on, I was trying to please don't be called off, because I just don't want to spend any time sat on the bench for it. Thankfully, I didn't. But I just didn't want to spend any second not on that pitch.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine.
Well, I would say the only place we could go from here is looking at another special shirt. And if we look over your shoulder, there was 2 unreleased in your Under Armours. 2 ones that never came about. So there's this QuickBooks one. So again, I'm not sure how many people know this is in existence. But again, because this was never really leaked like the Unibet unreleased was. But again, this is sort of a player version, because that was all that was made. There's no silver badge on it. It's got the underarm vents built into it. But this is a lovely shirt, a real nice shirt. Again, with both the one behind me and this one, I don't know why we didn't release them as thirds, because they are incredibly nice shirts.
They would have sold, wouldn't they? Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's our thing with not releasing white third shirts? It seems to be our go-to.
Well, Under Armour, I just don't know what was the point in actually making a batch, because I've got one, you've got one, and I know a few other collectors have these ones. There's not many of them, but I don't know why they would make more than one if it's just a sample. I don't know the need to make a batch, and I certainly don't know how they get into circulation. I couldn't tell you.
Well, we know how the Unibet got into circulation.
We know how 8 of them got into circulation.
We know how that one got in circulation. Why don't you tell that story?
Yeah, so the one behind me is one of 8 shirts that I walked into a charity shop and found. So I later learned that it was the season of this shirt. So this shirt, they all the foundation take them to sort of loads of the excess stock, and they drop them with shorts and socks to charity shops. So all the shirts were hung up on one rail. All the shirts were hung up on one rail, and the shorts and socks were in like a big bin next to the till. And I'd seen this shirt because there was a picture of it released from the new street store, wasn't there? On the mannequin of that one.
On the mannequin, yeah. It was also on Football Manager. Like, because when
Was
we're in
it?
when we're in the championship, obviously the championship on Football Manager is a licensed product, so you
Yeah.
get the player faces and the player kits and the badge
Okay.
and all that. And it was on there as the third shirt, and this was even before it was even on the mannequin. So at the time, Football Manager came out
Waiting for it.
in November. And I saw it on that, and I thought, well, no, at first I just thought, oh, they've made up a third shirt on the game for some reason, because it's not like a photo; it's like a 3D, realistic picture of the shirt. I'll find a picture and we'll pop it up now. But yeah, and then it turns up on a mannequin in sort of January time, doesn't it? And then there was articles like this is the new third shirt and stuff like that, but never came to retail.
No, and so I was in this shop and I thought I'll have a look, see what's about, and there was a couple of like players' tracksuit bottoms and things. So there was sort of some numbered up tracksuit bottoms and stuff. And then I went into where the shorts were just to pick up some shorts to play football in. And I saw this shirt and I was like, it can't be that shirt sitting in the charity bin. So I picked one up and I went and bought it. And it was a small. And I went and sat next door to Costa and I sent a picture to a couple of people and like, get out. I was like, I paid £8. And they said, go back in, have a look. I bet there's more. I was like, there won't be more. And there was just an absolute stack of them underneath shorts because I assume people thought it was the home shorts because nobody really knew that the shirt existed. And I had one in every size. I had a small, medium, large, extra large. And I just couldn't believe it. I walked out with a stack of eight of them. I did go and donate some money back to that charity shop when I sold some on. I gave one away, gave one to Dan Rollins who put that up for charity. Sold some at ridiculous prices to some friends. I mean, I bought them for £8, but sold them for crazy prices. But the one weird fact about it as well, the other fact is that the recon that's on the back isn't on the medium. So recon on the back is on the small, it's on the large, and it's on the extra large. But for some reason, recon isn't on the back of the medium.
No.
So
it's not.
So on the back of every other size, I don't know if we can get that on.
There's a recon, yeah.
But on the back of every other size, it's only the medium for some reason that recon's not on. No idea why. But again, a tiny little bit of fact. If you like.
Recon, yeah. If you're looking for, as we move on to the next season shirts, which the one above you is, when we're looking at player shirts, again, that is one of the factors that you need to look for that you couldn't have got at the time. So this is Jack Grealish's match worn shirt from
Get out with that one. That is just outrageous to have a Grealish match worn. It's just look how small it is as well. It's just tiny.
It's a medium.
Is it?
It's a medium.
But it's kind of size.
Player,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's the player version. It's tight fitted. I don't look good in it. But again, you need to look for the recon on the bottom for this season, which is what they would have had. Yeah, I got this off one of the...
initially though, did it? Recon wasn't on throughout the whole season from memory, from what I remember. Didn't Recon come out? Was it on all the player shirts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on all the player shirts, and you couldn't buy it. I'm pretty sure that season it's on all the player shirts. I've got quite an early one from can't find my bloody pen now. From Doyle Hayes again with the recon on.
So I've got a cup one that's player version because you can tell the material and that hasn't got recon on. It's definitely the player version because it's the material and it's completely different, and you can really see it in the background of these shirts. It's like a snowflakey effect. I don't know if that comes up on the camera, but there's like a snowflakey effect on the
inside.
On the inside that you can again, if you're looking for the player versions, it's that you're looking for. It's like a snowflakey type effect.
You can see a little bit better there on the claret.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So the Hurahan one that I've got, that's a cup sleeve patch, doesn't have recon on. But again, it might be an odd thing like that. That one behind me doesn't. So do you want to rate these shirts and we'll move on to that season?
Yeah.
So if we go with the home, where are you going with the home?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's pretty solid, isn't it? It's not a horrible one. Sadly, we need to find some shirts that we really disagree on. We haven't found it yet, but I'll agree with a 7. The away?
I'm going to go 6.5.
See, I'd still put a 7. But again, it's for my love for the shirt and the remake of what it was. Are we going to rate the?
I do like the fact that there's differences. I like the fact the material and stuff like that, but the designs just don't wow me enough. I think that's what puts it down. There's nothing there that is that crazy.
And should we rate the unreleased third?
Yeah, that's a 7.5 for me. That's nicer than the other two.
Yeah, I do tend to agree. I think it is the best of the 3 shirts for that season. Yeah, I'll go 7.5 on that one.
Wish we got to play in that. Championship lettering on the back as well. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
With the this was the prostate cancer for this season. I think it was.
It was,
which was nice. And then obviously, for the Luke season, it was the mind. So we move on to we finished 13th. Codger's the top scorer, but he's injured, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause he was creating goals for fun, wasn't he, that first season? Yeah. And actually, we all like this is going to be a player. I grew to really dislike him, but he looked.
But like it was we're worried someone's going to take him, and all that sort of stuff. And then, so Steve Bruce is now second window. In the first one, he brought in Horahan and made some changes, and we carried on getting rid of some of the dead wood. Couldn't get rid of all of it. Micah Richards was still there on a big contract, which was mad. But we bring in, you'll know his name straight away. Really old, really famous international centre back defender, and we bring him in the June transfer window. Who am I going to say?
No, I don't know who you're going to go. James. No, James was the first one.
Yeah.
James Chester, was he not? Was he the first?
Not James Chester. So not James Chester. In this kit, this window, we bring in.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Mr. John Terry himself.
No, Chris Samba.
Yeah,
John Terry.
He went up front, didn't he? I remember the game he went up front.
Yeah, we brought him on. He loved him up front. Steve Bruce getting Chris Samba up front. Well, yeah, we brought in Chris Samba and John Terry. Getting John Terry, man, that blew my mind. That did.
It was one of those transfers again that you sort of hear on the grapevine, and you think, nah, and then things started to add up for the fact that he didn't want to play against Chelsea.
Yeah,
no one else really afforded his wages.
Yeah. Stevie G's in America. Beckham had gone to America. I just thought he was going straight to the US,
but it turned out
Miami
to be
or something like that.
Yeah,
but he comes and captains us.
And yeah, I mean, really, just sort of set the standard, doesn't it? Someone like Terry sets the standard, doesn't he? Because he's just a winner. We won't take losing. There's no in between with him. You've got to put it all in.
Yeah, it was a real statement, wasn't it? It wasn't good for our finances.
No.
But it started that change of the type of player, the type of person who's going to be at the club and represent the club and represent the badge.
But I think from memory, I was told that actually right at the end when we were in real trouble, he took a pay. He just stopped having his wages, didn't it? From what I hear.
Yeah. Mutual termination of his contract.
He just didn't take the last 2 months or something of his wages, which shows sort of. I mean, I know he's not short of a few pennies, but there were other players at the club that didn't do that, who were in a similar position.
Well, you're always contracted until the 30th of June, aren't you? That's when your contract finishes. All players' contract finishes and they become a free agent. And obviously the playoff finished at the end of May. So they usually get 4 weeks pay just as their time off, whatever, their holiday. But yeah, he didn't take any of it.
No.
But yeah, this is a good season, really, other than the final.
Yeah, it was. It's one of the shirts I haven't got. It's one of the final printed ones. I know there's a few that exist. But we did have, slightly in between there, jumping in, we did have, and again, one of my rare shirts is one that you won't really see, which is QuickBooks on that shirt. So home and away. This is a what's called a sample shirt. So it says it on the tags, a sample. So what should have Unibet on has QuickBooks.
Mad.
Again, these are in the player material, so they're really nice. But you just wouldn't notice it. It's something else that would just quite quickly pass you by.
When you're scrolling through eBay.
When you're scrolling through eBay, but it should have Unibet on, but as a sample shirt, it's got QuickBooks written on it. So again, I still don't know how these things make it out into circulation. I just don't, because
how much did they rob you?
they do. Well, some website that obviously overprices, I think, sold them to me. Someone one to something sold them to me for a steal. Actually, a really, really good price, I have to say. I won't say what they were, but these were a steal to have sample shirts that I haven't seen ever again.
No,
and I paid.
I stupidly sold my one. I should have kept it. Thought I'd be able to find more
at an incredibly reasonable price for those two. So they're nice to have. And actually, we were talking about this again before we press record, that the Under Armour have an absolute plethora of rare shirts. You've got this one and the one behind you. You've got these sample shirts. You've got player version and non-player version. The Under Armour actually, as a kit collector, I think I must have 10, and that's without goalkeeper. I think I've got 10 that are all different. I've got a match worn Poppy Snodgrass shirt. You clearly see the Doyle Hayes behind it. You've got the AU and Gested of this one. It's just
Yedinak signed to Shaun as well, which is nice. Right. They're just good shirts, aren't they? I think this is my favourite out of the two home ones.
Which surprises me, because you're a colour person, aren't you?
Yeah, I like this two-tone. I like a two-tone as well, and I like the memories of this one was better than the season before, which I think pushes it. Snodgrass was great for us in this kit. Albert Adoma getting play one of the team of the season. Yeah, just playing out of his skin. Just good memories.
It brought back sort of. It was that year
beating Wolverhampton Wanderers 5-1.
It came back, didn't it? Like the cohesion from the club started to come back in that season. I know Bruce sort of fell out of favour as he went on, but the club started to see him as one. The fan base started to see him as one again, didn't we? I remember going to a few games that season, and the club started to be back together. The fan base started to get over the relegation and the turgid stuff from before, and we seemed to be sort of on a one-way course to go up. Really, didn't come off. We were dreadful in the playoff final, absolutely awful. I remember sitting there with the person I was with after about 10, 15 minutes, just thinking, we just don't look like we're at it today. We just don't even seem at it at all.
Tom Kearney. But they should have had a sending off.
Yeah,
still stand by that. At least stamp on Grealish. And then towards the end of the game, when they've got 10 men left and Jack goes on that mazy run, and you just think that that's going to be the moment.
But then you look back and realise, actually, what a bonus it was that we didn't. And it does sound like sort of bitter at that point, but actually the turn of events that came about off the back of it, what would have happened if we'd gone up that season is anybody's guess. And actually the owners we now face with, and the season we had off the back of that, it was probably the best thing that happened to our club for quite some time, was to lose in a playoff final. Yeah,
probably. But it was very, very, very scary at the time.
Yes.
Incredibly scary, because you didn't know what was going to happen. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
but it could have been us turning into Bolton Wanderers or Southampton, Portsmouth, and Leeds, or any of these clubs, and keep going down. Sunderland,
Bury,
big clubs have done it. So thank God for Ed, and
Nassif.
and can't pronounce his name, Nassif, for coming in and saving the club, and. The CEO, he's been cleared, hasn't he? Can't remember his name.
I do remember his name.
The Everton, he was at Everton as well.
The one who had the real big gif about him on the phone. What is his name? Yeah. It's gone. Absolutely gone from my mind. Absolutely blanked out. The one with the gif when he's doing the thumbs up when we signed someone. He's doing the thumbs up.
He's on the phone. No, he types it in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then he's got a really cheesy thumbs up at his desk. Oh, do you know what? How's that name off my mind? But
that's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? I was reading about the black away kit as well. Have you got the black away kit?
I have.
So this is the official Aston Villa website. The away kit, launched by James Chester, Rushton Hepburn Murphy, and Albert Adoma, features the return of a crisp and smart-looking black kit celebrating a unique mosaic tiled design. This is the line now that I'm like, what? This design of this jersey takes inspiration from the surrounding areas of iconic Villa Park.
Even knowing that, I'm still lost as to where they pull that from.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they've done it this season with the third, haven't they? When they've talked about the areas of Birmingham, but I don't see it.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
at all.
What?
Don't
maybe
see it.
at night. Do you mean because it's black and someone walks around at night around Villa Park?
I don't know if the mosaic comes from anything because there's some mosaic stuff around Villa Park. I don't know.
No.
Don't know.
So if you know anything about that, put that in the comments below on why you think or how you think the black Under Armour shirt takes its inspiration from the surrounding areas of Villa Park. Because I haven't got a Scooby-Doo.
No, maybe we're missing something really obvious, but I don't see it myself.
I think maybe then it looks that looks a little bit like brick. That's the stretch. I'm stretching there, but that was the only thing I could have thought of.
I can't see.
And then we come to the other white one, which you said,
which is one of the ones I'm asked most about. Is of all the shirts I have, is that one. I think it's because nobody knows the QuickBooks version exists. That actually the Unibet one behind me was really well known and people wanted it. But the QuickBooks one behind you, I just don't think people realise is a shirt. I have to say, this is a lovely shirt. This is really nice shirt. Again, why we didn't release it? The claret edging on the sleeves and the collar is lovely. Really nice.
My favourite third shirt. Well, sorry, my favourite shirt out of the three again.
Yeah, comfortably. I did a Unibet promo again when I was working with the Villa View, and because Unibet started to get the fans back involved, or wanted to get the fans back involved. So he did a sort of a mini fans tournament when they released the shirt, and I remember going to see it and having a look at the shirt firsthand and thinking it was nice. But the third against comfortable, I think this season more so for me than the previous season where this one was there. I think that white shirt is comfortably the best shirt by quite a stretch. The black's a real nothing shirt for me. I
rate it a bit more than a nothing shirt. I like a black shirt.
I just don't think there's a lot to it. I think when you compare the two, if you're going to pick one or the other,
there's
no contest.
No, I don't think there's no contest. I think that'll be reflected in our scores, but still don't think it's a. I think we have plenty of worse shirts than that black away one.
I agree.
Half the Macron shirts are far below that. But maybe it's a mid-table. It's a mid-table shirt, the black shirt.
Okay, maybe we got carried away because I love the white ones, but just in comparison between them. But again, if you're looking to buy them, like Shaun said, again, there's no. The material will be completely different, and there's no. Again, I'm trying to find one. There is no silver badge. Again, so if you see one that's been sold as player version and it has that badge on it, it's not. And again, you're looking for that sort of snowflakey that we showed earlier.
And the material under the arms. If you show under your arms,
there's
one's two different materials under the arms.
Whereas this one's just a solid one. This one's actually squad signed. Actually, I forgot. It sounds bad, but this one's squad signed. I forgot I even had this one when I was digging them out. But this one's
squad signed. Forget what shirts you've got.
It's getting that way, yeah. But yeah, so if you're looking for the player versions, they're not going for that much money. I have to say the match worns will be, but there's lots of old stock of sort of player versions of the shirts aren't necessarily match worn. I see. They're not that bad. But they're much nicer. They're a much nicer fit. There's a huge difference. They're not like the Kappa Pro and Elite fits that are built for athletes.
Yeah, they are tighter than a Reebok, but they're not as. For example, I'm wearing a large here of the player. I can't wear a large of the Elite Kappa.
They're a bit more forgiving, aren't they? The player versions.
Yeah. But still nice and stretchy. So, what are you going to rate these ones?
The home, I think I'll go 7.5 on the home. Quite like it. Yeah. I like the badge in the middle. I like the little lion that runs through it.
On the back as well.
Yeah. But your shirt's crazy. Greenish worn is just. I keep thinking my collection's done, and then I see people having things like that, and I think maybe it's not quite done yet. What about you?
This one's going to go for a 7.5. This particular shirt will go for a 10 because it's Grealish, but the shirt as a whole, 7.5.
And black.
Do you know, I can't not. Is that Villa Park? Have you just pulled Villa Park up?
Yeah, it's a picture. Sorry, I'll get the black shirt out now. Sorry, I was just holding up just a picture of it. I still can't see it. I just don't see it.
No. That's going to go for a 7.
I'm going to give a 6.5 on that. I'm not really the biggest fan. I think it's all right. All right.
Third.
Now, again, it's swayed by the rarity of it. I do look. You know what? I really do like it. I'd go 8.5. 8.5. I really like this. The Unibet one.
I was thinking 8.5 as well.
Really like it. It's a lovely shirt. I wish they'd mass produced it. But 8.5, and it's still one of these ones. I have a lot of shirts post printed with names on. I still am in two minds as to what to do with that one, as to whether I put a name on it or not. Because I know in my head there was never any names put on it, ever. But so it's not like you get
Bakuna.
Yeah, without doubt. Mika Richard. It'd be Terry or Grealish. I think it would go on that one.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I just can't print it because I know that it was never printed. So almost it changes what the shirt would have ever been for me. I don't know. That's just me being a bit weird about it. If I know that players had.
I get what you mean. For example, you know you find people get McGrath on the laces kit.
Yeah.
But there was never a name on that kit. It was only ever a number.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've got a 5. I've got 5 on mine, but you do see them with like the lettering across, and it didn't exist. So for me, I don't know if it's just the nerdiness of me that I know that it shouldn't have a name printed on it because it wasn't. So I don't think I will print that one. So it was the same reason with the sample shirts. Again, I won't get anything on those. But I found a player version of the home shirt that you've got on that's basically was made as a player version but hasn't got a name on it, and that I will get printed because I know that would have done. I like the FA Cup badges on that. That makes that a nice different touch on your there.
I've got the shorts and the socks. He's got his full strip that he was obviously the kit man's made for Grealish, but never wore it for this fixture.
Trying to think what game was the Tottenham game.
I can't. Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't remember for this cup run. I can't remember.
I think it's Tottenham. Didn't
do great. Didn't do great either season.
I think I remember being Tottenham because I remember Danny Murphy commentating on it and absolutely hammering us for no reason and being absolutely over the top on how bad we were. I'm sure it was that game. For some reason, it sticks in my head, and why I now still dislike Danny Murphy was off the back of that game. I could definitely be wrong. He definitely hammered us at a FA Cup game against Tottenham. I think it was that one. But
my nan knows his mum.
Danny Murphy.
Danny Murphy's mum. He's from
Chester. He wasn't very good on Villa's commentary on that game. I was really furious with him.
Poor Maureen Murphy. I will let her know if that's the name. But I'll tell her. I'll tell my nan to tell her.
But some interesting shirts. So the thing about this one is there's lots of different, like we said, lots of different kind of sort of permutations of the shirt. There's obviously the sample ones, the player versions, the non-player ones. They're not bad actually, as our recent history. Obviously not up there with the Luke, but it's a decent set of shirts.
Of your complete memory of these 2 seasons, what would be your favourite goal?
Favourite goal? I think. I don't know now. Actually, that's put me on. Probably one of the Birmingham City games. I think.
Gabby.
Probably Hoverhand's goal, the home one we took from outside the box of the sort of volley one. I'd say that one.
Good. The one that came to my head was either the Snodgrass away at Sheffield United.
Yeah, last minute.
In the last minute, which was incredible, and I was at that game. Or the Cardiff one when we won 1-0 at home to Cardiff, and Grealish hit it from outside.
Oh yeah. Outside the box volley, just inside the post.
Yeah, and they were horrible that game. They got promoted, didn't they? And they were just horrible to play against. They were so cheating. They were so dirty. And I think the dejection on his
face was nicest. How devastated he was at that goal going in.
Yeah. You love to hate Warnock. Everyone loves to hate Warnock.
Yeah, true.
I feel sorry for him now. He's an old man. Like now he's proper old. I don't hate him as much, but I used to hate him. Like when he was Sheffield United manager, you used to think, oh, he's a proper arrogant, horrible person.
I like some of his quotes now. I just think
Yeah.
his quotes about he's gutted. There's no fans in the stadium because he's got nobody booing him, and all this stuff. He's got nobody calling him certain words because there's no fans in the ground.
No, yeah, he's all right actually. You know, you love to hate him, as I say.
Yeah, you do. Was it so you weren't going to pick? Was it Bjarnason's goal against Wolves?
That was fluky. But
Toe poke.
5-1. That was a crazy game.
Yeah, I think the Hohan Blues game just lit it up out of nowhere. Just a volley. Goals against Blues always good.
Semi-final, Jedinak header. Is it been Middlesbrough?
Yeah, because I went to the home game and that was a 0-0. Like just edge of your seat because we were just sort of desperately trying to get to promotion, and then the letdown that was the playoff final. But
just mad. Well, comment below what you think of the Under Armour shirts, and if you think our scores are any good, or if we're completely off the mark, and which ones are your favourite. Make sure to like and subscribe. And from myself and the AFC Kit Geek, thanks again, and up the Villa.
Thanks for watching. Up the Villa.